Yes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Skype announced a new feature and broke everything daily. Paul, please let the viewers in on how your morning's going.
People sometimes wonder why I'm so angry all the time. And it's stuff like this. The way this day started was Brad wrote Mahedi and he said, he made a joke about how there was nothing going on today. And I said, actually, there might be one thing going on today. I said, over the weekend, Skype desktop, which is what I use because it works, upgraded itself on all of my PCs to this modern app looking thing. And it's like the single screen experience with the new colors and all that kind of baloney. And then 5 minutes later, we got an email from, I don't know, Wagner Edstrom or whoever it was, saying, hey, this Skype announcement's happening today. And the Skype announcement corresponds to this. My cat just walked up on my desk. And of course, she looks like, Godzilla because, all right, you need to get out of the way, dummy. Come on, move along. There's no room here for you. So it basically what they're announcing is that as of September 1st, there's a mandatory upgrade to Skype 8.0, which is this new modern client. And they've already started rolling it out, as I witnessed over the weekend. And I jokingly said to Brad, this is going to be an interesting test because I'm going to have to use this thing on First Ring Daily today. And then it didn't work.
Specifically, Paul was getting no audio back. It's definitely on his end because, we know that it's working here just fine.
Yeah, I mean, usually when I can't hear Brad, the problem is on his end, as you would imagine, and you kind of screw up Skype settings because sometimes they change magically overnight, whatever it was, and he was, whatever. And I said, I have an idea. Why don't we test it on the phone? And when we did, of course, the audio worked just fine. So the problem is, in fact, the Skype client, what's today, July 16th. So assuming I can roll back to the previous version, which I suppose I probably can, I'll get about 45 days to figure out this baloney. So that's just great.
And if not, Paul will just get erased from the web, which would not be so bad, to be honest. He will just never be seen again.
Could we have an upgrade like this for Twitter, please?
Twitter needs a lot of things, including being turned off. That would actually probably be beneficial. But that's actually a good segue, Paul. This is like 2 shows in a row that you've done this because I just wanted to call this post app, so it might not show up too well, but this is the tweet and splash screen. And our young Potawatomi, or whatever you want to call him, Mahedi, wrote up a really, really detailed post about how this whole thing came together. And I was getting some good feedback. And if it's developer-ish, it's Mahedi-ish, it's Twitter-ish. If you like any one of those 3 buckets, it's definitely worth a read. It's a very long post. It's easily his longest post written to date about how this whole product came to be. It's pretty good.
Also, I just say for people who are in premium, my cat is moving the thing that is holding my phone. Let's move that over there. You should read it because I think a lot of people don't understand what Mahedi's all about. And he's just a smart young guy. And he does some really cool stuff on the developer end, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's ambitious, I think is maybe the proper term to use. And it's one of the reasons why we grabbed him when we could.
Yep.
Things that are potentially not ambitious, though, Paul. The PC industry barely grew for the first time in 5 or 6 years. That's
6 years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and for 1 quarter only, so we need to kind of hold on to our excitement a little bit. I kind of averaged the results between Gartner and IDC, and technically speaking, in a very, very slight sense, the PC market grew last quarter as well. It was kind of like sub 1%, what I would call flat growth, but 1.9% averaged. Normally we wouldn't celebrate this kind of thing, but it literally has been 6 calendar years since we've seen any sign of growth in the PC market, which, by the way, since its height in, I believe, 2010 or 2011, has fallen by 100 million units per year, or in other words, it has lost 1/3 of its size just in the past, whatever that is, 5-6 years. So It's interesting. And then, of course, the kind of analysis on this is it's hard to say at this point. It's very early. We've only had the 1 quarter, 2 quarters, however you want to look at it. Will 2018 work out to be growth for the year? We'll see. But the big growth factors, of course, are premium PCs, including gaming PCs, Chromebooks, which continue to be huge, and business PCs, which is kind of interesting because we're hitting that cyclical Windows 10 upgrade thing.
Yeah.
We already see that that's happening now. In fact, if it wasn't for business PCs and Chromebooks, this market would be in the toilet. But that's going to continue because, of course, Windows 7 is out of support as of January, I think it's 2020, which is about 18 months away.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think between now and then, and maybe for the subsequent 6 months or so, we're going to see some pretty good upgrade numbers, including new hardware in many cases, which is going to help the PC industry.
Yep. Been saying it for a while, but there's definitely a new normal of somewhere. We don't know what that number is yet, what the annual PC sales will be, right? We're clearly past the peak, but it's not going to bottom out to zero. There's some number in between that's just going to become, okay, is it 100 million a year, whatever, pick your favorite number. We just don't know what that is yet. And it will stabilize somewhere. We just don't know where. And many people are wondering if maybe this is potentially the stabling after 6 years of dropping.
Yeah, that's the question, right? So has it plateaued, or do we see a continued slow decline? No one can really say. But when you look at the numbers, 261 million-ish computers per year compared to 1.5 billion smartphones and about 160-something million tablets, PCs represent under 1/6 of all personal computer devices sold each year now. So yeah, the role of the PC is more secondary now than it's ever been. And most people can get what they want to get done most people will do it on a smartphone. And then the PC becomes something like, with the original vision for the Chromebook, which was, sometimes you need the keyboard, full-size keyboard and a big screen. And you want to work in a spreadsheet or write a long document, or you really want to, it's an important email to a client or a potential employer or whatever it might be. And you really want to kind of sweat the details. The PC form factor is nice at that point. It doesn't mean the other stuff goes away. I know there are gamers. There are people like me, and I'm in this group, to be clear, who foresee themselves using a PC, if not forever, then at least for the foreseeable future. I still vastly prefer the PC and Windows to any of the alternatives. So, like you said, it doesn't just disappear overnight. But, the question is this the normal, or does it continue to decline a little bit?
Yeah. I will say that the new Skype, which I'm talking about your phone, appears to actually be much clearer than the old desktop.
PC. Yeah,
high def call. Enjoy them while you got them.
Explain that. Well, maybe I start doing this on the phone. I don't know what to do anymore.
You could.
I don't know. I don't know what to do about this. Well, I think short term, because I'm going away. Well, no, I have to deal with this on my other computers too. I'm going to have to revert it to the old client. And just never upgrade it until I know this works.
Yep. Other things that are happening today, by the way, Microsoft's Inspire conference, probably by the time you're listening to this, will either be deep in the throes of it or potentially over. I'm not expecting really anything to come out with the news dropped last week, including all that Skype or Teams being free and all that other jazz and a couple of Azure stuff. This is their partner conference, so it's not going to be any new hardware, despite the millions of people who have been asking. That's not coming. That was 2 weeks ago with the Go.
Yeah.
And so
well, you never know. The press was not invited to Inspire this time for the first year because there is I don't know if it's called MS Ready or whatever the other thing is, but they're combining a private show with what used to be a public show.
Yep.
And so they briefed us ahead of time. But they have a way of announcing things on stage in passing. It's kind of interesting. Remember Kevin Turner, some number of years ago, he's no longer with the company, but at the time was the COO, I believe, of Microsoft, showed off like a low-priced HP, that blue plastic laptop that everyone's so excited about.
Oh, I might have one. Keep talking.
And they do things like that. They've done that. I mean, one of the reasons that Brad and I and Mary Jo have always gone to Inspire in the past, back when it was called the Partner Conference, was because there would be these interesting announcements. None of us really have a big play in the partner space per se, but it's interesting, how they'll sometimes promote a partner device that is in keeping with something they're working on, maybe in Windows or in Office at the time. I'm running out of things to say, but Brad is still running around, so.
No, I think it might have gotten pitched in the Purge.
Oh, yeah, I have one. I probably have at least 3 of those somewhere. But they're going to be all, they're still boxed up, I think, from the move.
Yeah, they're not much. They were slow the day they came out, and they were slower.
But they were kind of cool and low priced, and they kind of serve the role that Microsoft seeks for Surface Go today. Obviously at a higher price point than those devices, but that is sort of the point. They're bringing that premium build quality down to a lower price.
Yep. Yeah. Although I don't think that's going to be announced on stage. I don't know. I'd be very shocked. It would make for, well, I mean, the keynotes typically can be a little boring at this one.
Well, they usually have good music, and it's usually a kind of a spectacle to it. They're always held in an arena. Brad, of course, got his partner award one year for being
somewhere nearby.
his what is it, like a scarf or a robe or something? He's like part of the Illuminati now.
It's this scarf, the
Yep.
award winner.
The least deserved award in the history of award giving. You're not a partner.
Paul, I am a partner in spirit, and I'm also a partner of the year. I need to take a photo of this and tweet it today to remind everyone that I was a partner of the year.
It's probably how you got all that Teams information early.
Yeah.
Your exclusive access.
I just dropped my business card in a little fishbowl in the party room, and they just keep emailing it to me.
My cat's just rotating the thing that my camera's sitting on. She's just clawing away at it. Would you get that out of your mouth, you idiot? I don't know.
Well, you deal with those personal issues. There is one other thing that I do want to call out. Dina Bass, good friend of the show, or whatever, good person and friend and whatever, had a really good interview posting this morning. It says how Amy Hood won back Wall Street and helped reboot Microsoft. It's just a really good look at the kind of C-level and the financial sides of Microsoft and how they kind of pivoted in the world of Wall Street, who used to hate them, and now their stock price is at over $100 when it was stuck around the 30 mark for, I don't know, a decade.
I'm going to move this away from the cat.
Only took you, 400 episodes to figure that one out.
Jeez. Okay. How's that? That's not too.
Well, now you look like you're on the John.
Yeah. Yes, this is what my bathroom looks like. It has a computer screen behind the toilet. I'm just trying to duck down so I can.
Well, I do you have anything else for today, Paul?
No, I think that does it. How about you, Brad?
I got nothing. So, all right, folks. Well, that wraps it up for today on a very interesting episode of Partner of the Year Daily, and we'll catch you right back here next time.